Good morning. I hope that you are all rested. Welcome to the program agenda. I'm your host, Kuya Cito Beltran, thanking you for joining us on this 20th day of February 2023. And for those of you who might still be feeling it's a weekend, sorry, it's Monday. And from the looks of it, it's going to be a rainy Monday. Okay, patugtugin nyo na lang yung kanta ni Karen Carpenter, Rainy Days and Mondays. But don't let it get you down. Cliche, no? Okay, welcome. Thank you very much for those of you who are subscribers of Signal TV. And for those of you who are not, mag-subscribe na po kayo if you are in the territories of the Philippines. And if not, well, we thank you for joining us on Facebook and, of course, on YouTube. And kindly share the links with your friends because a lot of people still go through so much process just trying to find the link and make the connection. But we will be here for you, God willing, and we hope you'll join us through the day because we're going to have another feature personality and we will talk about ease of doing business in the Philippines, courtesy of Arta. But before any of that, let's go to our daily starter. But first, thank you to PLDT for their home fiber optic internet and Marco Borlongan, who always supports us, even if it's a part of his responsibility, he does it so cheerfully. Okay, let's now go to our daily starter, and it comes from Jonathan Beard, or Bird, or Byard. The man who loves walking will walk further than the man who loves the destination. Okay? And this is an interesting point. The man who loves walking will walk further than the man who loves the destination. Because while the analogy is with walking, it is about your attitude in life. If you love what you're doing, if you're doing something that you love, okay, then you will keep on doing it because you love it and not because, you just have something to do, it's a goal or it has to be done, etc. So keep that attitude and also let it be a reminder to you. This weekend, I read from a friend's post how after more than 75 years of being on this planet, he thought that he was supposed to be a businessman, okay? And all he did was do business even with his hobbies. He turned it into a business or he made a hobby out of his business. Unfortunately, failing to understand that what really made him happy. Then one day he discovered that when he pursued his hobby for the hobby's sake, then he found so much happiness and he made a declaration over the weekend, hindi na una yung negosyo, enjoying ko muna itong aking hobby. So whether it's a hobby, whether it's business, or even just be having your family, loving your family, okay, will make all of the responsibilities, the burdens so light. And I do hope you'll keep that in mind. The man who loves walking will walk further, okay, than the man who loves the destination. Pag narating mo na yung paruroonan mo, wala na. Tapos na biyahe, di ba? Eh kung tuloy-tuloy after you reach destination 1, saan na tayo? Okay, where do we go? What do we do? Okay, so I have to really calm down because medyo hirap pag weekend, ng pinanggagalingan mo weekend, you get to be excited. Okay, well, good morning to our friends who are watching. Dr. Emily Roleda, Wilson Ganipan, to Serge Capistrano, etc. Good morning to all of you. Let's now go to the front page of the Philippine Star. And February 20, 2023, the headline goes, AFP vows to secure West Philippine Sea, asks for support and prayers. The Armed Forces of the Philippines, AFP, calling on all Filipinos for support and prayers, has vowed to continue defending the country's territory amid China's increasing aggressiveness in the West Philippine Sea. In a statement backing President Marcos's latest declaration that the Philippines will not lose an inch of its territory, the military gave assurance that it is ready and will continue to carry out its mandate. Our troops are resolute in ensuring that the interests of the Filipino people in the West Philippine Sea are protected, AFP spokesman Colonel Medel Aguilar said yesterday. In response to that, I hope that every viewer of Agenda Today and those of you who have Facebook accounts will send out the message. Let's pray for the AFP and let's pray for peace in the region, because the last thing we want to be is to become Ukraine of Southeast Asia. At the top of the front page of the Philippine Star, measles case up nationwide. Okay, yan po, medyo please pay attention to this. The number of measles cases nationwide is rising according to the Department of Health, or DOH. The latest DOH surveillance report showed signs of an increasing number of measles cases in just the first month of the year. The agency recorded a total of 59 measles cases in January, a figure way above the 8 measles cases reported in the same year last year. In short po, I read the article, and the DOH is alarmed because statistically speaking, in some regions, the number of cases are 3 times higher, and in some even worse. So, but the numbers are relatively still few, but in a situation where you should be zero, medyo delikado po yun. And alam naman ninyo, parang mathematics, may multiplier effect lahat yan. A big photo at the top of the Philippine Star is a photo of a Catholic priest leading the burning of dried palm leaves at the Divine Healer Parish Church in Parañaque yesterday, in preparation for Ash Wednesday on February 22. So Wednesday na po yan kasi 20 na ngayon, 2 araw na lang. Ayan na. The ash is used to mark the foreheads of devotees with a sign of the cross on the first day of Lent. And if I'm not mistaken, they remind you, from dust thou art, to dust thou shalt return. Okay. Meanwhile, to the left of the front page, DFA, Department of Foreign Affairs, aggressive moves inconsistent with South China Sea Code. Tensions caused by incidents and aggressive actions is inconsistent with the 2002 Declaration of the Conduct of Parties in the South China Sea, are not conducive to promoting peace and stability, according to Foreign Affairs Secretary Enrique Manalo, who called for the preservation and strengthening of multilateralism and a rule-based order amid the difficulties posed by post-pandemic recovery, the Russia-Ukraine conflict, etc. He gave this talk at the 59th Munich Security Conference last February 7. So, yun po, medyo cause of concern na talaga yung nangyayari dyan sa South China Sea or West Philippine Sea, with America and China really butting heads now. Okay. Meanwhile, big photo at the center of the front page of Philippine Star is a photo of the Cebu-Cordoba Link Expressway, which is being featured because the Philippines plays host to the third leg of this year's Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Business Advisory Council from July 27 to July 30 under the theme Equity, Sustainability, Opportunity. So yan po ang magiging host Cebu, and congratulations to our friends in Cebu. Meanwhile, workers urge BBM to accept ICC probe. Labor Coalition nagkaisa yesterday urged President Marcos to reconsider his decision not to cooperate in an international criminal court investigation into the bloody drug war of his predecessor, Rodrigo Duterte, and to instead accept the probe as a necessity in upholding the rule of law. Ayun po. Nako, speaking of the rule of law, in the bottom part of that article, Cagayan Vice Mayor Romel Almeda of Apari, Cagayan, and 5 of his aides, including his driver, were ambushed, okay, and all killed. So, ayan po, hindi pa malaman kung ito ba ay political in nature, kung ito ay mga NPA, but this was a thorough assassination. Imagine 6 people all dead in one van. So that, as far as law and order is concerned, yun po, medyo malungkot po. Meanwhile, Malacanang, okay, Palace states, memo on salary cuts for Turkey aid, fake. Ano ba naman yan? Alam naman ninyong may batas pa rin sa Pilipinas. Okay, Malacanang has asked authorities to investigate the spread of a fake document stating that there would be deductions in the salaries of government employees to support a relief fund for earthquake victims in Turkey and Syria. The document, which claimed to be a memorandum circular from the Office of the President, said a President's Relief Fund for Turkey's earthquake victims has been created, blah, blah, blah. So in other words, may nagkakalat po ng kalokohan at fake news. There is no salary cuts. That's against the law. And it is not a practice of any government or even company. Pwede kayo magbigay kayo ng donation to Turkey and to Syria, pero hindi pwedeng puwersahan. Okay. Meanwhile, last 3 pieces of news. First, okay, we have Circuit Makati celebrating its 10th anniversary with a special art exhibit featuring pieces from the Kua family collection. Ribbon cutting attended by Ayala Land President Bobby D., Ayala Land Estates Group Head Robert Lau, Philippine Racing Club President Simeon Kua, Fernando Zobel, the Ayala, and PRCI Chairman Santiago Kua. Okay. And then, sad news for us at the Philippine Star, senior correspondent Abraham Bebot Season Jr. has passed away. He was 67, Season, the Star's correspondent in Olongapo City and Zambales, died at the James Gordon General Memorial Hospital in Olongapo City at 5 a.m. yesterday. This is according to his son, Don. Okay, so we would just like to extend our condolences to Bebot's family, and we hope that the Lord will comfort you at the time of your grief and your loss. Thank you for your services, Bebot. Sir Bebot. Okay, kahit na age group kami. Okay. LPA to bring rain to South Luzon and Visayas, Mindanao. An active low pressure area is forecast to bring rain over southern Luzon and some parts of Visayas and Mindanao. Hello, Pag-asa. Kahapon pa at nung isang araw pa, umuulan sa Batangas, doon sa amin sa Lipa. In fact, some people I ministered to were texting me, grabe, basang-basa, sir, lakas ng ulan at hangin, etc. So, please be reminded if you are in Southern Luzon, kayong mga tiga Calamba, kayong mga tiga Batangas, mga tiga Laguna, Batangas, Quezon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Oh, by the way, hello to our friends in Tacloban, Mayor Alfred Romualdez, who also informed me that they hardly have had a break from the rains since December. So, unusual weather patterns din daw po in the Visayas. So, let's just pray that all of these translate into better harvests this year. But please try to stay safe and stay dry. That's all the news we have in the Philippine Star. And for those of you who want to know more about what's going on in the country, please get your copy today, subscribe online, and of course, pakibasa na rin yung aking column, my opinion column, C-Talk, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Okay, let's now go for a break. And after the break, we go with the interview portion of the program. Okay, before we get on to the interview proper, allow me to give you some background regarding ease of doing business in the Philippines. Only a little more than 10% of local government units or LGUs were found to be fully compliant with regulations on establishing business one-stop shops. According to the latest data from the ARTA or Anti-Red Tape Authority, only 221 out of 1,634 cities and municipalities spread across the Philippines have fully automated business one-stop shops. Okay. Management Association of the Philippines President Benedicta Dubalalad said the ease of doing business remains a top private sector concern in the country. To address this point and other concerns, we have invited an official of ARTA to join us. Gab, please roll out the Betamax.
Attorney Ernesto Perez is the Director General of the Anti-Red Tape Authority. Prior to this, Perez served as Assistant Secretary at the Trade Department's Consumer Protection Group. He was also OIC Director of the Bureau of Philippine Standards.
DG Perez, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Cito, magandang umaga po mga kababayan na nanonood, nakikinig ngayon sa inyong programa.
Okay, welcome to the program. And, it's good to have this kind of interview because many people don't really know who their government officials are. And even more, don't realize that their government officials are individuals who have experience in the field, who are career officials. So, could you tell us a little more about yourself before DTI or ewan ko kung babalik tayo sa college, Pero could you tell us a little about your background, Director General?
Magandang umaga po. Thank you, Zito. Noong po nag-aaral sa Ateneo Law School, I was a working student. Nagtatrabaho po ako sa Philippine National Bank when it was still a government bank for 6 years. Then nung na-privatize po ang PNB, tama po, nag-take ako ng bar at pumasa po ako ng 1986 sa Philippine Bar. At having practiced for 30 years, private practice in law, pumasok po ako sa gobyerno bilang Assistant Secretary during the Duterte administration ng Department of Trade and Industry, particularly ng Consumer Protection Group, naging officer in charge ng Bureau of Philippine Standards. Hanggang sa ako po ay in-appoint na First Deputy Director General or Undersecretary ng Anti-Red Tape Authority noong December 1, 2018. At hanggang ngayon po ako, nagpapasalamat po kay President Marcos for appointing me as the Second Director General of the Anti-Red Tape Authority.
Okay, well, congratulations on that appointment. But is it really an appointment that you should be thankful for? Did you pursue this? Or kumbaga, nandyan na yan di harapin na natin.
I really pursued it because I really wanted to serve more, and I really believe that the ease of doing business law na in-implement po ng Anti-Red Tape Authority is really a change maker law. The records will show, sang-ayon po sa mga testimonies, experiences by businessmen, and our dealings with government agencies, and the records will show that with 1 year implementation of the ease of doing business law and the various issuances of the ARTA together with DTI, DILG, DICT, lumaki po, tumaas ng napakalaki ang ating revenue collections and in terms of also business registration po. That will only show na yung ating pong mga kababayan, mga businessmen natin, pag ating pong pinaalam sa kanila na dito po madali ang magnegosyo, sila na po mismo ang magboboluntaryo na magre-rehisto ng kanilang negosyo at magbabayad ng tamang rehisto as long as the processes are streamlined and there is automation. And later on, I will share with you kung ano po yung mga increases na sinasabi ko po.
Well, this is a very casual conversation, Director General. So, hindi po ito Q&A. This is really your show. I always tell our guests. But I'm just curious, because in the Philippines, we always hear complaints about ease of doing business. People always complain about corruption, about red tape, etc. What really is the problem? Has the ARTA or any government agency undertaken a research, a study to find out, do people really understand the system? Does the system really make itself understandable, available to the customers? Kasi parang, ano ba ito? Ignorante ba yung customer o talaga bang napakahirap ng sistema?
Sa mga nag-aaral po ng public administration or governance at tayo po nagpa-practice into public administration, the battle against red tape and corruption is simple lang po. Streamline processes and automate. Ayun po, ayon sa direktiba ng ating presidente, bureaucratic efficiency is really the key towards attracting investors, attracting businessmen into the country, and the records will show really na lahat po ng mga LGUs, meaning cities, na nag-streamline ng kanilang government process at nag-automate, nag-set up at nag-operate ng kanilang electronic business one-stop shop. Isa po ang common denominator doon po. lumaki at tumaas ang kanilang business registration at tumaas ang kanilang revenue collection. Ito po, the records will really show. Even the DIG report with 1-year implementation of that integrated business permitting and licensing system and operations manual na ginawa po ng ARTA sa pagkipagtulungan po natin sa DILG, DITTI at DICT.
Mhm.
Ang revenue collections po for 1 year alone increased to 19 billion pesos. Sa Paranaque po, nang in-implement nila yung electronic business one-stop shop, nag-increase po ang kanilang revenue collection by 314 million pesos. Sa Quezon City po, by 985 million pesos. Sa Manila, by 106 million pesos. Sa Valenzuela, 30 million pesos. Ito po with just 1 year of implementation. Imagine po kung ang lahat ng mga LGUs ay mag-operate ng kanilang electronic business one-stop shop. Tataas po ang revenue nationwide, gaganda po ang ekonomiya ng Pilipinas.
Director General, is this mandated by law? Ito ba ay talagang sinasabi ng batas, hello, kailangan gawin niyo yan, no choice kayo for all LGUs, or is this optional?
This is mandated by law under Republic Act 11032. Pero ang authority po bilang the primary agency under the office of the President to implement the ease of doing business law, we cannot force them, we cannot compel them to set up that electronic business. We can only help them, assist them, and that's what we're doing. And so far, maganda naman po ang ating pagkikipagtulungan
So the law is,
sa mga LGUs.
sorry DJ, pasensya ka
Yes,
na.
sir.
So the law is a suggestion. It's not a requirement with penalty. Kasi napapansin ko naman yan pag yung LGU may nakita sila o may batas, para hindi tayo pwedeng pumalag dyan kasi kundi makukulong ako dyan o ma-ombudsman kami. So ito bang requirement for digitalization and online processing or one-stop shop, walang penalty if they don't put it up?
So ayon po sa ease of doing business law, while it is a requirement for all LGUs, pero yung mga penalties po is specified only under Section 21 of the law, meaning na ang ahensya or LGU ay hindi po dapat mag-impose ng additional requirement or fees on top of what is published in the Citizen Charter. O kaya po hindi sila dapat po i-process nila yung application or for permit or licenses within the standard processing time of 3/7/20.
Yeah,
Dapat po,
pero walang...
other than those, dun po sa pag-set up ng electronic business one-stop shop, while it is required under the law, wala pong penalty under Section 21 of the
Kasi alam mo DJ, I don't know. I know I've met you once. I didn't get to speak to you for at length. But I have been kumbaga pioneer supporter na ako ng ARTA. And it seems that we missed that one when the law came out, that it does not penalize local governments for not setting it up. Can the President come up an executive order that is accompanied by penalties for LGUs to must put up the one-stop shop?
Dahil po ang ease of doing business law ay by law at anti-retipotor was created by law and the penalties are specified by law. Only by law can we penalize those LGUs na hindi po compliant sa electronic business one-stop. However, it does not prevent po for the President to issue an executive order dahil iba po pag ang Presidente mismo nag-issue ng executive order, makikita po natin dito na kahit wala pong penalty, ang mga LGUs naman ay sumusunod po sa ating Presidente dahil meron namang mga ibang paraan other than imposing penalties.
Okay, ako mangungulit na ako. Talagang hindi ko sila tatantanan. Yung mga kaibigan nating congressman, isa-isayin na natin yan because I mean, this is stupid. The LGU can make money, can earn, as you pointed out, they can make hundreds of millions in profit kahit na maliit na barangay. Kung naka-online lang, malalaman na ng taong bayan yung services available. Di po ba?
Tama po kayo. Dahil po sa experience na ba ng Manila or ng mga LGUs na merong electronic business one-stop, pwede po silang mag-renew o mag-apply ng kanilang negosyo from the comforts of their home, sa kanilang negosyo, sa palengke, at napakabilis po. Dati, para makapag-rehistro ka ng iyong negosyo, maabot ng ilang araw, ilang buwan. Dito po, maximum 3 working days. Pero dito po sa may electronic business one-stop shop, in 1 day alone, makukuha na po nila yung kanilang mayor's permit or business permit.
Okay, we'll go for a quick break, Director General Perez, and
Salamat po.
when we return, pag-usapan nga natin ano ba yung pinagkakaabalahan, what is the art focusing on, and of course I have to ask you yung mga naging past issue of ARTA where nilabi ang ARTA ng mga ilang walang yang politiko para mapara kayo from doing your job. Sorry, alam ko DG, you're very diplomatic. I'm not. I need for our country to progress. You be nice, I'll be bad. Okay, we'll go for a quick break here on Agenda. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the program Agenda. I'm your host, Cito Beltran. And today, if you have been watching, our interview is with Attorney and Director General of the Anti-Red Tape Authority, none other than Sir Ernesto Perez. Director General Perez, welcome back.
Thank you po. Maraming salamat.
Okay, having taken the position of Director General, what have you discovered? Kasi iba yung you are in the wings, iba yung ikaw na yung nakaupo at ikaw na yung dinadatnan ng mga programa at problema.
Marami po tayong talagang dapat gawin. At isa lang po dapat ating priority. Implement lang po natin yung existing law, yung mga issuances ng ARTA, kagaya na po na sinabi ko kanina, at makakasigurado po kayo na talagang gaganda ang ating ekonomiya. Sa ngayon po, ang ating priority is really, we're going out to the provinces, check on the compliances of agencies and LGUs with the ease of doing business law. At the same time po, pinapaiting din natin ang ating partnership with the private company, private stakeholders dahil sa ito pong pamamaraan na ito, ma-check po din natin, mababalidate natin yung mga reports ng LGUs saka NGAs dahil hindi po natin kayang makover ang buong Pilipinas. Kaya po tayo nag-appoint ng mga ARTA champions nationwide, kagaya po ng Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, yung pong iba pang mga negosyante nakabase po sa kanilang mga syudad at municipality. Meron din po tayong nilaunch last year, yung Report Card Survey 2.0, na kung saan po ang ating mga kasamahan sa Compliance Monitoring and Evaluation Office, kasama po din natin isang third-party surveyor. Nagkaroon po tayo ng pilot testing of 50 LGUs and national government agencies, kung saan po tinin natin yung kanilang compliances with ease of doing business law at binigyan po natin ng recognition yung mga LGUs na ito. At dito po may empower ating taong bayan dahil at the end of the day, bago po matapos sa kanilang experience, like experience with the application for permit or license, they will have the opportunity to rate the agency or LGU the kind of service that they got. So ngayon po, yung itong ating agency, LGU, palagi po dapat on attention, dapat walang masungit, dapat hindi pa pinapahirapan ng taong bayan dahil ang taong bayan meron po opportunity na i-rate yung kanilang serbisyo.
Okay, DG, I can't help but notice that our conversation has focused on registration of business.
Yes, sir.
But are there other areas of concern? Kasi syempre, kailangan kung may negosyo ka, kailangan magrehistro ka, kailangan may papeles ka, and you have to pay taxes, etc. But aside from registration of businesses, what are the other primary concerns of ARTA?
Gusto ko lang po emphasize na pag kayo po ay in-streamline na natin at in-automate, madali na po nating mahuhuli yung mga nagninegosyo na hindi rehistrado. So that's number one, that's why we're focusing. Number two, we're filing charges also and we're conducting entrapment operations against some very few erring government employees yan na hindi pa rin tumitigal sa kanilang katiwala para malaman nila na ang ARTA hindi lang po ay nag-enable, nagkakapacitate ng government agencies. Meron din po tayong kapangyarihan na mag-imbestiga at mag-file ng charges before the ombudsman. At bilang mga empleyado ng gobyerno, ayaw po natin na meron tayong kaso sa ombudsman dahil at sa ngayon po sa ating experience, hindi lang po ito abala, maapektuhan pa rin po tayo nito at maaari din tayo mawalan ng trabaho or matanggal at makulong pa kung tayo po ay nagpa-violate ng batas.
Okay. Well, corruption is a national concern, global concern. So that comes with the territory. But other areas, because pag sinabing ease of doing business, I don't know if you get to read my column. Sinasabi na nga nila na I am the voice of the poultry producers daw and feed millers. Meron nagsasabi na anti-LGU raw ako, etc. Sabi ko, hindi po. Ako po ay iniindulto na. I am being called upon by so many business establishments, corporations who are fed up with all the fees, charges, etc., corruption. If you read my column today, mag-umpisa ka ng Benguet o Ilocos and you bring products all the way down to Visayas and Mindanao, para kang nagdaan sa tinik ng bugambilya. Ika nga, sa dami ng mga nang-hold up sa highway na police, highway patrol, LTO, and then yung sa mga pier, mga ports. Is that also part of your mandate or are you really just against red tape, period?
Tama ka, Cito, noon, as early as 2021, we joined the DILG at Department of Finance in issuing a joint memorandum circular imposing a penalty or making it illegal for LGUs to impose pass-through fees. Dapat po, ang isang cargo truck, pag dumaan po yan, hindi po dapat yan sinisita. Meron po tayong dinevelop na which we call the Unified Logistics Pass. No? Na, pag ito po ay ating in-implement within the year, sa pakikipagtulungan po natin sa LTFRB at sa polisiya, ang isa pong cargo truck na na-issuean ng Unified Logistics Pass from the point of entry to the point of destination, dapat po hindi na ito hinaharang dahil pinagbabawal po ito ng ating joint memorandum circular together with DILG. At gawin lang po ng mga mamamayan, kung wala pa rin po silang Unified Logistics Pass which is QR code readable, i-report po nila. Mag-complain po sila sa ARTA, mag-email po sila sa complaints@arta.gov.ph. So kaya po sila mag-text o tumawag dahil ipinapangako po ito sa inyo na ang ARTA po ay kumikilos kaagad. At based on our mandate, we have that mandate to interconnect government agencies under a whole of government approach. At sa ayon po sa ating experience, ito pong pinapatawag natin ang LGU o kaya any government agency for that matter. Sila po naman ay sumusunod. Dahil alam po nila na kasunod ito, matapos natin sila ipatawag, ang kasunod po nito ay kakasuhan natin sila sa ombudsman.
Oh, okay. How is your relationship with the ombudsman? Because alam mo, may mga namagitan na nga between the ARTA and the ombudsman, even with the media and the ombudsman, because nagkapikunan talaga dyan. Certain LGUs, governors, really lobbied with the ombudsman to go after the ARTA, etc. And it left a very bad taste in the mouth because the ARTA has been very dedicated, very successful in fighting red tape. Pagkatapos, kasama mo pa sa team ang kakana sa'yo. So how are things between the ombudsman and ARTA?
Napakaganda po ng coordination saka ng collaboration natin sa ombudsman. In fact, a day after I took my oath of office as Director General, nag-meeting po kami ni Ombudsman sa opisina po ni Senate President Mig Supiri. At doon po magkukwentuhan, wala naman po talaga kami problema. Dapat po sa government agencies, we should collaborate. At ang mandato po naman ng ARTA ay tulungan lang ang Ombudsman to go against violators against the anti-red tape law of the country. We're not encroaching on the jurisdiction of the Ombudsman. In fact, we're just helping, and kung ano man po ang ating findings and recommendation with respect to the violations, we just recommend it to the office of the Ombudsman.
Yeah, but did you also point out the possibility that the Ombudsman may have accidentally been encroaching on the domain of the ARTA because the Court of Appeals made a decision that proved ARTA right on the subject matter of the things that they were doing. Paano niyo na-resolve ng ombudsman?
As a practicing lawyer, yung Court of Appeals decision hindi pa po final until it reaches the Supreme Court and it has become final and executory. That will really clarify the mandate, the jurisdiction of the Anti-Red Tape Authority. But even without the finality of that Court of Appeals decision, wala po naman tayong nakikitang conflict or disagreement with respect to the jurisdiction of the Anti-Red Tape Authority. We're not encroaching, but the Office of the Ombudsman sa constitutional body has its own jurisdiction to enforce po. At wala pong conflict doon.
Will the matter of jurisdiction and authority be pursued by ARTA at the Supreme Court? Because, you know, that is a legacy decision, if ever, because it will determine the future and the authority of ARTA.
We are not party to the Court of Appeals case. But of course, whatever the Supreme Court will say, we'll abide by it. And we support whatever will be the final decision of the Supreme Court.
Okay, so I'll leave it at that. I know
Yes,
you're the lawyer and I'm not. Pero pasensya ka na, I'm very passionate kasi talagang sorry no, nakakapiko, nagtatrabaho na nga yung ARTA, problema pa ng hindi dapat nila problema.
Pero
Anyway,
Cito, gusto ko lang may passion na hindi na po naman kami nag-worry. Kami po tuloy-tuloy lang sa aming trabaho na implement yung ease of doing business. We're not affected at all by whatever, but I can assure our people na wala po tayong conflict with Ombudsman. At,
okay.
na in fact, magsiset po kami ng another courtesy call or courtesy visit sa ating Ombudsman po.
Magandang bagay po yan. I try to interview them pero wala
Yes.
Ayaw tayong pagbigyan. Anyway, as far as ARTA is concerned, and the statements coming from the private sector, the business sector, they've always constant pa rin eh. It's still a concern, you know, ease of doing business. Have you had the chance to sit down with, you know, the Management Association of the Philippines, the different chambers, and sort out what's really the problem and what are the solutions?
In the early days po, when I was still Deputy Director General, I had the occasion to meet with the officers of the Management Association of the Philippines. Pero ngayon po wala. But we are in close collaboration with the officers of the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry headed by George Barcelon, yung ating pong Employers Confederation and Exporters Confederation of the Philippines headed by Mr. Serge Ortiz, ang ating pong pagkikipag sa Indian Chamber of Commerce. Maganda pong ating kolaborasyon. In fact, gusto ko lang po i-share na napaka-effective po ng Anti-Red Tape Authority. Sang-ayon po sa mga testimonies na sinishare sa atin. Bilang example lang po kung kayo po ay may problema sa isang ahensya, be it the Bureau of Customs, the BIR, ang kanilang po experience, sasabihin na nila sa kanilang empleyado, magdala po kayo ng folder. Kung halimbawa kayo pinapahirapan, doon sa folder nakalagay po doon yung Anti-Red Tape Authority at complaints sa hotline. Pag nakita po nila yun effective, ina-actionan po natin nila kagad yun. Pero sana wag na tayo umabot. Ako po ay nag-apila sa ating mga kasama sa gobyerno. Wag na po nating antayin pa na ireklamo kayo sa ARTA. Pero kung ang taong bayan, may reklamo po kayo, ipaalam nyo namin, po nyo ito sa Anti-Red Tape Authority at actionan po natin kagad dito. Yun po, maganda po ang ating relationship with the businessmen at patuloy din po, if I still have time, no? Gusto ko lang i-share na meron po tayong partnership, napakagandang partnership with Private Sector Advisory Council headed by Sabine Aboitis. At meron po tayong, ito po yung Pinas Bilis Program kung saan nag-identify po tayo ng 13 LGUs at 10 national government agents kung saan tutulungan po natin sila from end to end na maging compliant sa ease of doing business law. Recently po ang Meralco, nag-sign po kami ng Memorandum of Agreement kung saan sila po, in fact, we're launching this program on March 10. Magdodonate po sila ng 500 computers to be distributed to the LGUs which are in need of computers to set up the electronic business one-stop shop. Dito po kasama natin ang DICT. So wala na pong dahilan ang any LGU na sabi nila wala silang resources, kulang sa power, kulang sa internet connection dahil ang ARTA din mismo sa pagkikipagtulungan sa DICT saka sa Private Sector Council, kami na po mismo pupunta sa inyong LGU at kami po itutulong na may set up po nyo ang electronic business one-stop shop from end to end po.
Okay, DG, what about other areas? Kasi pinag-usapan natin business registration. Katulad nitong isang viewer natin, nagsusumbong doon sa San Jose, Batangas. Ewan ko kung city ito, municipality. But ang problema is that kung magbebenta ka raw ng property or magre-rehistro ng property, ang daming pinupuntahan, palipat-lipat, ang daming requirements. First, you have to go to check, okay, where the original documentation, you have to pay registration, taxes, and then you have to go to another office. I think you know that.
Yes, sir.
Mga ganyang bagay, paano ba yan?
Ito po, sabi niya, malaki talaga problema natin dyan sa LRA, saka sa Register of Deeds, sa transfer ng property. Pero as early as 2 years ago, nagkaroon na po tayo ng koordinasyon dyan at tututukan po natin dyan kasi ang ating pong focus, hindi lang sa pag-issue sa business permit and line, but to encourage government agencies under a whole process into a submission by way of a unified application form, by way of business one-stop shop. Hindi po ito confined na sa business registration, kundi lahat po ng aspeto like registering title or securing yung new title. Dapat po ito lahat ng agencies must be interconnected. At ito po ginagawa natin, nag-issue po tayo ng joint memorandum circle among the government agencies. Hindi lang po sa Register of Deeds, LRA, pati yung mga migrant workers. Kasama din po natin yan sa ating initiative on forming a joint memorandum circular. Meron din po tayong, una din po nating tinutukan dahil problema po yung internet connection. Isa po sa, in fact, unang-unang ginawa natin joint memorandum circular is on the shared tower for telecommunications as well as for the construction of tower. No? At dito rin po napatunayan natin that with just 1 year implementation of the JMC, nag-improve po ang ating internet connection. At basin po to sa World Bank survey dahil we were able to reduce the number of permits substantially. Like for instance, number of permits from 13 to just 8. Documentary requirements from just 86 to 35, and the length of time for processing from 241 days to just 16 days. So imagine, nung
Yan yung
in-implement
sa
po
cell
natin-
site, ha?
Yes, sa cell site po. At tumaas po ang registration by about 65,000. At ayon po sa ating pagkipagpulong sa pagkipag-meeting sa 4 telco company, PLDT Smart, Globe, Tito, tsaka Converge, isa lang po ang kanilang sinasabi. Nagpapasalamat po sila sa JMC na ginawa natin dahil natulungan po natin sila na mag-construct pa ng marami pang towers. Dito po sa Pilipinas, ang aim natin para mag-improve yung ating internet connection ay mag-set up ng about 70 towers more. Sa ngayon po, ang na-set up pa lang is about 25,000. Gusto ko lang po i-share ito, napakalaking problema din po ito sa far-flung areas. We went to Tawi-Tawi last weekend. Doon po, napakahirap. Kami po minsan experience namin, mahirap mahina signal. Halos
Nako,
wala pang
Director
internet
General,
Yes, sir.
lumayo ka pa, DG Perez. Anak ng ewan, doon sa
Tawi-Tawi.
Baguio nga lang Baguio,
Opo.
dyan sa Bonifacio. Sabi ko nga, walang yan, di ba pwedeng lahat ng building dito lagyan ng antena para magkaintindihan tayong lahat? But anyway, congratulations for
Yes, sir.
doing that, DG, no? Pero ang tanong ko, okay, speaking of cell sites and such kind of projects, what has ARTA managed to do to put a stop to this criminal use of special use permits by LGUs? I'm sorry, I'm going to call a spade a spade. Ang daming LGU, lalo na yung mga konseho nila, gagamitin yung clause na special use permit. Bago kayo makapagtayo ng negosyo dito na ganyan, special use permit, may special fee, babayad nyo sa amin.
Bawal na bawal po yun. Dahil under the ease of doing business law, hindi po dapat kayo mag-impose ng requirement that is burdensome. And that is a burdensome requirement. Any ordinance or any regulation must undergo proper consultation, must undergo regulatory impact assessment to ensure na yung regulasyon na ito ay not causing undue regulatory burden or cost to the transacting public. At yun po, mag-complain po kayo at kung sino man yung LGU na yan, ipapatawag po natin kagad yan at i-verify and after validation, no, and if they don't comply, papailan po natin kasi that is issuing a requirement that is probably not disclosed in their citizen charter.
Okay, what about yung mga tax rezoning? Kasi nangyari na yan sa maraming mga viewers natin. Biglang pupunta sila to pay for the real estate tax and their taxes went from, let's say, 1,000, bigla naging 2,005. Tapos tinatanong, paano nangyaring 2,500 po? Agricultural land po kami. Biglang sabi, and then may golf course na sa tabi ninyo Ba, ano ba pakialam namin doon sa golf course ng congressman? Kami agricultural lang. Yung gano'n, yung mga table mapping, table rezoning and taxation.
Kahit ang LGU, covered po sila ng ease of doing business. Even the Bureau of Local Government and Finance is also covered. So, kung ang isang LGU po ay itinaas, no, yung kanilang rate, dapat po ito ay subject to proper consultation. Pag hindi po ito nag-undergo ng consultation at ito po ay hindi napatunayan na that it's not causing undue regulatory burden, ito po ay pwedeng natin i-declare na illegal dahil hindi po ito nadidisclose sa kanilang citizen charter. Gusto ko lang po explain na lahat ng government agencies, including local government units, must publish and must have their citizen charter kung saan lahat ng kanilang government service that are being offered to the public must be disclosed in that citizen charter, including the process, including the requirements, the fees to be paid, the standard processing time of 3,720. At pag hindi po ito na-disclose sa citizen charter, that is considered a violation of the ease of doing business law.
Okay, now, pasensya ka na, Director General. Ako po magsasaka laang. Ako po nakatira lang sa barangay. Hindi po, no read, no write po ako or mahirap lang kami. Kayo po ba dyan sa ARTA, pwede bang kayo na yung magkalkal nitong aming damuhong konseho din Do you do that? I mean,
Yes,
sorry
sir.
I'm just
Of course, sir.
recreating the scenario.
Of course, even barangays are covered by the law. Mag-complain lang po sila. Ipaalam nila sa Anti-Red Tape Authority, tumawag o sumulat. Aksyonan po natin kaagad yan.
Okay, now, DG, ayoko maubos naman yung opportunity mo to talk more about your agency. So here, I give you 3, maybe 4 minutes. Please go ahead and talk about your future plans.
Napakaganda po ng ease of doing business law and following the directive of the President for bureaucratic efficiency, which is one of the 8-point socio-economic agenda of the government. Ang ARTA po ay tuloy-tuloy ini-implement yung kanilang mga inisyatibo, programa na naumpisa na po last year, even 2 years ago. This year, we are in full implementation of all those major programs and initiatives. In fact, magkakaroon po tayo ng rollout. Pupunta po tayo sa all the regions of the country. Not only because we have 8 regional offices, but even the national office will conduct a joint orientation and inspection of government is. Sa pamamagitan po na ito, mababalidate po natin yung mga reports na sinasubmit ng ating mga LGUs and national government pages. Patuloy din po ang ating apila sa ating mga negosyante, businessmen who continue to support us. Maraming salamat po. And this year po, ipinapangako po natin sa Anti-Red Tape Authority na kagaya po na sinabi ko earlier, pag ating pong in-implement itong ease of doing business law and the programs and initiatives that we have already issued or started, gaganda po ang ating ekonomiya dahil lalago po ang negosyo, tataas ang revenue collections, tataas ang business register. And the records by the DILG, records of the LGUs will show because records do not lie. And I continue to ask, to appeal to our countrymen na kung meron po kayong problema, kagaya po ng mga businessmen who continue to approach us whenever they have problems, you can be rest assured that your concerns will be properly addressed.
Okay.
Hindi po natin kakayanin buong Pilipinas, but makakaya po natin to pag sama-sama tayo, makikipagtulungan po tayo sa ating gobyerno, ipaalam po ninyo ang inyong reklamo para magawa po natin ang paraan.
May hotline ba kayo, DG?
Yes, sir. Tumawag po kayo sa 8478-5091, 8478-5093, or 8478-5099 o kaya mag-text or call po sa 0969-257-7242 or 0928-690-4080 o kaya mag-complain po kayo, email at complaints@arta.gov.ph
At complaints@arta.gov.ph.
At visit our website po sa arta.gov.ph. Maganda lahat po ng inyong tanong. Kung meron kayong tanong, sasagutin din po natin yan.
Okay, karapatan po ninyo yan, our dear viewers and mga kababayan. Hindi po tayo anti-government, hindi tayo anti-mayor o anti-council. We are simply pro-business. Okay, Director General Ernesto Perez, thank you very much for joining us this morning. May the Lord give you wisdom. May He bless the work of your hands. And may He increase your tribe at the ARTA para tumino naman yung bayan natin. God bless you, sir.
God bless. Thank you, Cito. God bless everyone.
Okay, that's our Director General at ARTA, and let's now go to this week's exhortation, and it comes from the first chapter of the book of Psalms. Okay, and please pay attention to this because this has kept me away from bad situations and regret many times over. Blessed is the man that does not walk in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stand in the way of sinners, nor sit in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law does he meditate day and night. Okay, yan po, yan from the first chapter of the book of Psalms, verses 1 to 2. I read that, and recently I was seeking God's wisdom regarding a certain meeting, and I said, Lord, can you guide me? I opened the chapter and sabi, wag ka punta. Okay, so God bless all of you. Please keep it here on One News.